I'm Lindalia Junqueira, CEO of EOS Innovation and Rec in Rio, the largest hackathon at Latin America. Also, I am an angel investor at Gavia Angels, MIA, and Smart Money. And I am the ambassador of Global Women in Tech in Brazil, and also a co-champion of MITT RIP. It's a global program that is regional entrepreneurship acceleration program to develop Rio in energy, oil and gas, and sustainability. And I'd like to ask Paula, my friend, to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Paula. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm in my third company now. The name of it is Jobsy. And I'm also an ambassador for Global Blockchain Business Council in Brazil. And I'm the creator of Rio Startup Rio project, and also of EFL, which is IFL Dialogues in Rio.
She's amazing. She did lots of things. So I would like to know more how you choose technology, and how is this to be the CEO of Jobsy?
Well, I chose technology for the reason that it has a lot of impact. So I used to live in the US for over 10 years. And upon returning to Brazil, I wanted to make sure I could have a big impact in my country. Brazilian productivity is very low, as you know, relative to the rest of the world. So I thought I should start Jobsy, which is a data intelligence company for the labor markets. Our mission is to reduce friction in labor markets, and we do that in 3 specific ways. The first one is we help companies find jobs, find people for the jobs that they post through our algorithm called Jobsy Points, which calculates the distance between any CV and any person in the labor market. The second way we do that is we help people find these jobs. And the third way is that we help education institutions to build the right product to get their students employed. Based on the data that we have with respect to labor markets.
That's very important. That's how I love her, and that's very common with me in my life, because I come from poor people, a poor family. They came from Portugal, and education transformed my life. So that's why I created Hacking Rio, so I can inspire more young people to go to this technology area. That's incredible. But in Brazil, we have 7,100 jobs open, and so you need to develop and to inspire more people to get to this area. And also, you're the founder of IFL, this institute to promote dialogues between other leaderships. What moves you on? Why you create this institute?
I decided to create this institute so we could exchange ideas that are too complex for us to talk about with just reading a newspaper. So what I realized upon returning to Brazil was that there was a lack of a forum for us to really dialogue about complex themes. So I thought I'd gather the smartest people I knew and put them all in the same room and have them talk about topics that we weren't really having access to talk to them about anywhere else. So we get together once a month and we talk about topics that are too complex for us to read about on newspapers, like I said. And today we have some of the top entrepreneurs in the country, some of the top VC funds in the country, and top executives in the country in our group. And we're very proud of that. Yes, it's around 40 people that are great people to learn from and exchange ideas with, and especially in such a confusing world that it is of today, right?
Yeah, and we can make bridge between investors, companies, and also the public sector, right? So yes. we have to be part of this, and also at other countries, I suppose. Do you have other connections in other countries?
I have other connections in other countries. I'm part of 2 groups, one in Germany and one in the US, that we aim to bridge with the one in Brazil. It's too early for us to talk about them yet, but we're always open to to talking to other groups in other countries and exchanging thoughts. Especially because the world is so globalized today, and specifically within technology, the space is very, very fast-paced. So it's great to have this exchange happen in a global basis. And we're looking forward to talking to people from the UAE and Paris too.
Of course, let's talk with Ayumi. I'm very glad to be the ambassador of Global Women in Tech that was created and founded by Ayumi Aoki, and that is promoting these events now. This first meeting in innovation technology in the media-oriented. And also, do you think that it's difficult to find other leaders, other women leaders that can represent us and can speak about this diversity in the world?
I do, and I feel like it's a thing specifically challenging within technology because it's traditionally such a space where there are more men than elsewhere. But I heard that today's event has a 50-50 participation, which is amazing. Amazing. Yeah. A job well done to the organizers, because that's really remarkable. But in Brazil, we have great examples of entrepreneurs that are women, such as Trajano and Cristina Junqueira, and we have great examples of women leaders, and that's true abroad too. It's tougher to find them, but they exist, and they're definitely great when we find them. We find kindred spirits.
Only 20% of our employees are women. So we need to put more women in this place, and in C-levels, in board members, and also to be the startups like Cristina Junqueira that you talk about, is the CEO and founder of Nubank. And I've heard that if a woman is a leader of this startup, they can return 10 times more than a man. So
I've heard the same. Yeah, it's good for business.
Yeah, it's good for business. Mohamed Yunus talked with me in 2015 when he came to Brazil, and he told me that this Bangladesh bank, all the women are the one that return the more profit for them, for the bank. So it's kind of an attitude. So we have to inspire other women. And I would like to ask you, Paula, about you're so young and so pretty and so intelligent. Have you had some kind of, difficult to be a woman in the position that you're coming from?
Well, I find that it was kind of natural for me because I came from the environment that was also all male, which was the financial sector. So when I lived in New York and I worked in finance, that was pretty much male dominated as well. So I find that it's a challenge in parts, but it's way fairer game now than it used to be. From what I hear of my friends that are older than I am, which I have quite a few, they also tell me that it used to be much harder. So I feel like we're moving a lot in a good direction in the world.
Great. You are passing from all this pandemic virus, and you have to, change lots of way of lives and lots of way of communications. You're thinking, I guess companies are thinking more about social impact and environment impact, not only plus, but in the core of their business. So what do you think is going to change in Brazil? Because lots of people heard about the Amazon and the Pantanal and all this disaster that's going around. So what do you think about this changing to the people in Brazil, and how Brazil can be again a future country that they presume before?
I feel like Brazil has made leaps of change in terms of digitalization over the course of the pandemic. So whatever was latent in terms of desire for digitalization became really fast now. It used to be that e-commerce was only 8% in Brazil, and now that rate has gone 3 or 4 times up in a very short period of time. I also feel like the economy is doing, worse because of the epidemic, but it was in kind of stable ground before the epidemic hit, which brought the lowest interest rates in the country to be true. So people are more stimulated to borrow money and to start businesses because the credit is much cheaper. And that creates a need for venture capital much more. So venture capital has increased significantly. Venture capital appetite has increased substantially. So Brazil has around $1.9 trillion in GDP. And only 0.1% of that is invested in venture capital in Brazil. The majority of it is invested in early stage companies. And then, in terms of number of deals, but in terms of volume of deals, in terms of the actual dollar numbers, the majority of it is invested in a few very large companies, such as Nubank, which you mentioned, and a few others. So I feel like the trend in Brazil is here to stay of this investment in venture capital. And that's true because the economy in general is more stable. In the absence of the crisis, the economy was more stable than other historic periods. So it's a special moment to live in Brazil as an entrepreneur because there's a lot of opportunity, not only in social impact, but in general. People can build things in social impact. And that's an even better trend. Our business model is based on doing good as well as making money. So we want to give people jobs. But irrespective, it's a good time to be an entrepreneur in Brazil. There's a lot of opportunity here.
I agree.
To be an investor in Brazil too because of these opportunities.
I agree. Lots of things to build and lots of things to be the transaction, especially the energy. Energy transaction is going to be the great issue from now on. So that's our time is going, but I would like to ask people that are watching us to connect with us because I think that we don't have innovation without collaboration. And we need to change knowledge, technology, and startups and investors and make this bridge happen. So this MITT REAP program maybe can be a way to connect them. Also this IFL movement, but we are open to this exchange and I hope that Brazil can be more closer to the people in Middle Orient, okay?
Great.
Can you leave a message for them, Paula?
Well, it's been a pleasure to be with you here today. It's quite an honor to be invited to such an exciting event, the first of many, I hope. I think if you're interested in looking at Brazil, please look us up. We'll be happy to talk to you and introduce you to anybody that may make sense in building things in Brazil. We're always open, and it's an exciting time to be an entrepreneur here, like I said, and it's an exciting time to be an investor here as well. I'm an investor in a couple of companies, and I've been seeing them really do well during this digitalization period in respect of in spite of the epidemic. So I wish you all the best, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.